shape like before, but there's a big difference. Okay, the thing about the egg shape is babies and children's heads aren't like an egg. They're more round. So the most important thing you do with the egg shape right away is you're going to be taking off a little bit on the top and taking off a little bit on the bottom, and you're going to make the egg shape more roundish. Okay. So the new shape I've got is going to be like this. Okay? You can erase the guidelines now that I've made the roundish shape, but does that kind of look more like a kid's head? Yeah. Okay? So it's a little bit rounder. After you've done the head shape, you do the same things as you did for an adult's head. You draw a line down the middle. And then you figure out where the eye line is. The eye line is still halfway down. So this is about 50 centimeters at about 25. That's where the eye line will go. Okay. And do you guys remember how to divide the eye line? Into how many segments? 5. Okay, so same thing as before. You measure it out. It's about 40 centimeters. So I just divide this into 8s. 8, 16, 24, 32. And that's where the eyes will go. Now, what happens after you do the eye line? What are you supposed to do? Do you guys remember what you do once you figure out where the eyes go?
Triangle.
The triangle. Now, if I do the triangle like I did before, 25 centimeters, and I draw a triangle down, I'll end up with a triangle that looks like this. And if I do the cheeks like this and put the mouth here, does that look right?
No.
No. So everything I taught you about adult faces, we're going to have to change from this point forward because the proportions are different. So don't do the triangle. Okay? What we do is this line from the eye line down to the chin, we have to divide that into 4 equal-sized segments. So I'm going to use my ruler. It's 24 centimeters on my drawing up here. So I'm going to divide this into 6 centimeters, 6, 12, 18. Okay. Now, this line here, that's where the nose is going to be. This line here is where the mouth is going to be. It's actually easier than doing the adult. Okay. So divide this line into 4 equal segments. The nose is here, mouth is here. And I can pencil in the mouth here already. When you think about the kids, are their mouths bigger or smaller than their eyes? A little bit smaller. So I can estimate the size of the mouth. I'll just make it a little bit tinier. Okay. And I can kind of pencil it in just lightly here to show where it is. And once I know the size of the mouth, draw a line here, draw a line here, and that will tell me the size of the nose as well. Remember, if the mouth is big, the nose is big. If the mouth is small, then the nose is also small here. Okay. Eyebrows, you can kind of pencil them in. And ears, same thing as adults. Ears have to be below the eyebrow and above the nose. I'll just pencil in. So that is our template for a child's head. It's a little bit different than an adult's head, but once we get this far, we can erase some of the guidelines. Okay, and then we can start filling in all the facial features, and that part should be pretty easy. Okay, now using the same techniques as before, I'll begin adding things such as a nose. Okay, remember 5 U's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, remember that? The 5 U's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, but the nose is smaller because the mouth is smaller. Okay. Mouth, pretty easy to do. M's, right? 1M, 2M, and a W. So 2 M's and a W, but of course I'm going to make it small. Okay. Eyes, remember you're doing eyes, and the iris and the pupil have to be drawn as a donut. And you have to remember that your eyelid covers up the upper part of your iris, so you don't get to see the entire iris. But now that I've got that part in, I can erase some of these guidelines and begin filling in all the details of the eye. So I fill in the pupil. I leave a little bit in the middle unfilled because that will be the reflection of the light coming off the pupil. And for kids' eyes, I don't trim off the edges like I did for an adult. I keep them more football shaped. So actually eyes are a little bit easier than adults' eyes. Okay. Remember before we used to have an eye and we used to trim off the corners. We don't have to do that for kids. But we do add tear ducts. Okay. And then now the really cool thing about eyes, especially with little kids, is their eyelashes. How would you describe the eyelashes of a kid?
Very small.
Okay. Well, the hairs are very thin and very fine, but what I've noticed is that they're also quite curly. Okay, so I'm going to draw an eyelid, and then I'm going to add nice, fine, curly eyelashes. Okay. And you can even add some eyelashes on the lower eyelid as well. Okay. But there you go. Okay. Eyebrows. Do kids have big, thick, bushy eyebrows? No, not usually. So eyebrows, I know where they are, so I'm just going to add some very fine hairs. Okay. And you decide where they go, how long to make them. Okay. So there we go. Ears. Do you guys remember how to do ears? Remember you had the Valentine's Day hearts? Like that. Okay. Ears. We get the shape like so. And then you do the fold in, out, back down, around. And then you add those little folds here. Okay, so those are our ears. If you forgot how to do ears, just watch one of my previous videos because we've done ears so many times for adults and men and women. So same as before. Okay. Neck. What do you think we should do for the neck? Thick neck? Thin neck? Well, thin neck. Okay. Because kids don't have very thick necks. Go to the edge of the eyes, go down, and they'll have fairly thin necks. You don't need to put an Adam's apple even if it's a boy because, well, the Adam's apple doesn't come in until puberty, right? When the person's older. So, it doesn't matter if it's boy or girl, no Adam's apple. Okay. The nose, we can add a little bit of a bridge, but you don't have to do too much. Okay. Now, hair. If this is a boy, you can give it a boy's haircut. I'll make this one a girl. So, again, this line here is the scalp. So the hair actually goes above that. So we'll put in some hair. We'll give her some bangs. Okay. So I'll pencil in lots of hair. Okay, you can decide what kind of hairstyle to give it, but I'm just doing a pretty generic hairstyle. And I'll give her some what do we call the hair that sticks out?
Bangs?
Huh?
Baby hair?
No. Here, I'll draw and then you tell me.
Pigtails?
Is it called pigtails?
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't, I think it's called a pigtail. Okay. That's one. And then I can just fix up jaw. And you can decide if you want to add any other things in as well. Okay, just for decoration, you can add hair accessories. Maybe earrings. Okay. If you want, you can also add, dimples, but shade it in. And then the lips, you can add a little bit of some wrinkles. And, you know, that is how you do a child's face. Now, this picture, that might be like a 4 or 5 year old girl. You know, if you did someone a little bit older, you might have to modify some things, make the nose and mouth a little bit bigger, change the hairstyle. And if it was a boy, you would have had to do a completely different haircut. But overall, the steps are the same. The difference between a 5-year-old boy and a 5-year-old girl is not that significant because, you know, little kids, sometimes you can't even tell if it's a boy or a girl when they're a certain age. It's only when they get older then they begin to look more like men or women. But, you know, most of the time you do the same thing I've shown you here today, and you can do that for a boy or a girl. Okay? So that's it. I'm going to put this up on YouTube later. You can go check it out again if you need to review what I've taught you. But yeah, thanks for watching.